Oh, I'm fine, Hambinacia. Just had to figure something out here. What the heck? All right, we're going to go back to the closing arguments. Just a minute. Law and Crime Network.
It's more like an eclipse. You remember that eclipse on August 17th of 2017, where it kind of got dark for a little bit, and the birds started chirping, and you felt like it was dark, and then it cleared, the eclipse went over, and the light came back. That's what the defense is doing, taking you away from the facts, from the credibility, and saying, wait a minute, there's an eclipse here, there's a smoke screen here, look at that. And somebody said the word offensive. I find it offensive that a family with a great-grandfather, a grandfather, a father, Sylvester Randolph Murdaugh, who was good to me when I was a young man, prosecutor. He knew I wanted to do this as my job. He knew I cared about this job. This is the best job in the world. I tried to be solicitor 3 times as long. It doesn't get any better than this job. And I find it offensive that the defense, through the defendant, who was also a part-time solicitor, is claiming that law enforcement didn't do their job. Listen to me, please. Didn't do their job while he is withholding and obstructing justice by not saying, I was down at the kennels. I was down at the kennels. I was down at the kennels. And he's going to blame everybody else. Is that offensive? Is that offensive? Mr. Griffin said a minute ago, can you imagine coming up on the scene and seeing, can you imagine not telling law enforcement, lying that I was down there and I saw him? I was right there. Why wouldn't you tell them that? Maybe get some more evidence. Did you hear somebody? No, I wasn't even down there. Credibility, believability. That really does sum it up. You remember 6 weeks ago today when Mr. Waters' fantastic opening and talked about direct evidence, and direct evidence is something you know it when you see it. It's evidence you gather with one of your senses. You hear it, you feel it, you smell it, you touch it, and you come in here and tell witnesses, hey, this is what I heard, what I felt, what I smelled, what I touched. But do you remember when he was describing circumstantial evidence? There was a storm that day coming. Part of his theme, the storm just happened to come. And you could hear it coming. And then, during part of his opening, you remember it started raining? You could hear it. You could feel it. It's almost like circumstantial evidence morphed into direct evidence. And that's what happened in this case. Circumstantial evidence became direct evidence in many instances. This case is about two things. It's about being real, and choices. My mama gave me a book when I was a little boy about the Velveteen Rabbit. It's actually going off to college. Dealing with people and learning about people and tough times in life. Go get the Velveteen Rabbit and read it if you haven't already. But she just put in the front of that book, and I love my mama. Always be real. Always be real. And this case is about that defendant never being real. And choices, which I'll get to in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, they blame everybody but Alex. Everybody but Alex. Let's go back to the first. I'm not going to bring it out. But this back here, the press release was sent out. There's no danger. There's no danger. What did Alex not do? They showed a tape there. He's asking the sheriff, I think, call Buster. First time he tried to call Buster, took the sheriff a while to get out there. You know when the first time he called Buster? It's about 40 minutes. Well, actually, he texted him, didn't even call him. Wasn't his first thought. Wasn't the thing after he did 911. It was later. Perhaps even when some of his friends had gotten there. Oh, don't call. No, right off the bat, if this happened, call my son. Call him. Buster, stay where you are. You with your girlfriend up there in North Charlotte? Go. We got some people after us. That's what's real. Don't you? You go to the police station right there. And what else do you do too? You don't talk about being real. What do you do? Y'all, I just left my mama. She's with Shelly. Get somebody over there. Get them over there. If these people are out here to kill us, get them over there. Go, please, take them right now. They're by themselves. I can't do that. That's why I took the guns. I can't tell them that. That's what's real. And he brings up the boat case right away. Right away. A year and a half previous. He's coming up for a hearing. Nobody's thinking about that boat case except Alice. And right then, he's using it to throw off. Here's your first suspect. Does that make any sense? They have a hearing coming up. They're going to look into resolve this thing. Nobody's out there thinking about a boat case on a Monday night. Anybody upset about that? Think about all the facts that would have to happen. They'd have to know both, as Mr. Waters said, somebody in the boat case would have to know that they're both there. They'd have to know they were there. They'd have to know that Alex just wasn't there. Oh, no, wait a minute. That he was there, but just for a little bit and went back up to the house. And they'd have to come. You know what? We don't need a gun. There'll be guns there for us to use. Yes, and that's great circumstantial and direct evidence. I'll get to that. They'll have guns there for us. They'll have guns there for us. We can use them. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Let's talk about murder. Murder is the intentional, malicious killing of another living, breathing human being with malice aforethought. What's malice? Y'all know what malice is? It's just the name malice. It's the evil wickedness one person shows to another. You know how long it's got to exist? Just like that. At the pulling of a trigger. 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 Malice aforethought. It can be expressed. Rarely happens. I'm going to kill you. Or it can be inferred. It can be inferred with the use of one gun. There's no claim of self-defense here. They're claiming they weren't there. It can be inferred two guns. Malice aforethought. And we don't have premeditation in this state. We don't have to prove premeditation. We don't have to prove motive. I think it's been proven. His world was collapsing. Mr. Griffin goes, does that make sense? In his mind. His world's collapsing. His world's coming down. This was the only way he could save. The only way he could save Alex. But if that motive, well, I don't know, is that enough? Don't know. We don't have to prove motive. We're certainly there. That's one explanation. But if he's down there and he's angry, just don't sound like a real jovial there. Bubba! Don't let me forget about Bubba. Bubba! Come here. Maybe you just got angry. Maybe you got angry at Paul. Maybe you got angry, you started all this with the boat case. And maybe he just lost it. Maybe he just lost it. Maybe it looked like a suicide. And then Maggie came and he had to shoot her. I don't know. Only one person knows. And that's why we've got the motive. That's why we say he did it. But we don't even have to have motive. Just angry. He did it. Nobody else could have done it. Nobody else did do it. I'm going to get to that. And that's how we prove beyond, I want to say all doubt. But our burden's only reasonable doubt. But losing it, and then you get the question, well, have you proven malice? Well, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. 2 shots to Paul. Malicious. First one didn't do it. The second one finishes him off. 5 shots to Maggie. Not an accident. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, maybe 5 shots, depending on whether this one's running through. That's malicious. So if you find he killed him and you get the malice, I don't think there's any dispute in there about that this is a malicious killing. But I've got to go over that with you. Malice of forethought. And then the burden on us in this case, as in every case that's tried in this wonderful land of ours. That's why this is so great. I agree with it. Is beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm going to borrow one of these waters if that's okay. It's not beyond all doubt. If that's the case, this courtroom wouldn't have been here as historically as long as it had. The law doesn't describe that. And listen to his honor. And I'm not playing up to him. He is the best. He's the law. Listen to him when he reads the law. Beyond a reasonable doubt. It's not beyond all doubt. We can't do that. It's beyond a doubt that would make reasonable folks hesitate to act. I was trying a retrial case years ago and reading reasonable doubt from this ex-solicitor, Solicitor Wilson, I'll give him credit, describing reasonable doubt. And he said, sometimes, questions are just questions. You can't answer every question, and the law doesn't require it. If after hearing all the evidence, if you're firmly convinced of the defendant's guilt, you must find him guilty. If, on the other hand, you're not firmly convinced, then you must find him not guilty. He goes to see his mother. He goes, and you see the OnStar taking him up to the side, over near the smokehouse. We submit to you that's when he went to hide the guns. It's common sense. We submit to you that there's a driveway there. Nice pavement. You can look at it. Nice paved driveway. Submit to you when he came, it was 9:30 at night. Testimony is very unusual, very rare. Kind of funny is Miss Nixon, who testified earlier, we talked to her recently, didn't remember any of the conversation, but said she called and said he told him your dad's not doing well. Well, he didn't go there that afternoon when he got the phone call, when his office is right near there. Go see him then. He didn't do that. He waited to 9:30. I don't know if anybody's got any folks who suffer from Alzheimer's, but when they're asleep, they're tired. He wasn't going to love his mama. He wasn't going to be with her. He was going there because he loves Alex. He loves Alex. and he was going there to create his alibi at 9:30 at night. Use your common sense. And you remember, she said he called.
Well, we're going to see what the jury says.
What happened after that? Well, it's about
See
5.
y'all later. I'll be back.